Good day everybody. I would like to give you the help video for the last Microsoft Word and Excel test. And I will start with Microsoft Excel, which probably most difficult piece of software that you have in this class. So you can see your Microsoft Excel on a screen, and what you can see different ribbons. Different ribbons could be activated by clicking on the ribbon bookmark, and different ribbon dedicated to different functions of Excel. Here on the top you will see the long opening near the FX function. So this is a function. This is an action, calculation, formula bar that Excel will use for calculation of data that you will put in the grid. Grid is a table. You can see cells, and to activate cell, to select cell, you need just to click inside. Click inside, and then you will see cell is selected. Selected cell allows you to put data on it. By the way, the name of the cell is cross section between column and row. The name of the cell is name of the row and name of the column. Take a look. Name of the column is B, name of the row is 3, so the cell reference is B3. B3 is the name of the cell. If you select different cell, you will see name of the column C, name of the row 5, and then that will be C5. Now, the grid is not supplied with borders. To make the border, you need to select cells you want to and activate borders. The border is a specific button in Home ribbon. So what you're gonna do, you need to highlight some cells. But folks, let me introduce to the cell range. If you take a certain cells and if you highlight a row, you will see cell on the beginning and cell at the end. So range of cells will be from B3 to H3. If you highlight different box of the cells, you will see the left upper cell B5 and the lower cell is E11. So from B5 to E11 is a range of cells. Definitely when you select the column of the cells, that will be F2 and F17 in my case, the last cell in the column. To create the printable grid, you need to highlight the range of cells, and then you need to go to borders, and I usually use all borders that you create around the printable area of the selection, and these cells supplied with a board that will be visible on a print. Let's continue, folks. Now you can see the grid that we made. To get rid from this grid, to make this grid invisible again, we need to highlight this range of cells from B3 to H13, and then to go to borders. This is in Home ribbons, and go to no borders. No borders. Borders will be eliminated. We will have clean table. Now folks, how to input data and what kind of data we'll have. Let's try to use here 12. To move to the next cell, I just need to click it. I'll put 11, then I'll put 3, I'll put 5, I'll put 1. Here, I'll put different data. Let's say 23, 13.4, 30, 112, 8. And third, beginning from D2, I'll put 11, 23, 76, 2, 8. Now you can see 3 columns. Column B, column C, and column D. Folks, you can select the entire column. For this, you need to go for the top gray space, gray bar, where the name of the column is C, and you can highlight it. The same way you can click on the column D. Guys, this is the approach that you need to use when you need to select two columns. Press Control while you selecting the second one, and you will see two columns is selected. To deselect, just click somewhere else. Now, if you select one column and you need to select non-adjacent color, so you need to press Control and click this column. Now, these two non-adjacent columns are selected. Guys, one of the questions in the test, is that true if we delete column, there is no possibility to get it back? It's not true. I will show you. If you highlight the column and press delete, right mouse click, and you'll see delete, the column will be deleted. Column D became column C. When you press shortcut for undo, Control Z, the column will be recovered. Folks, you already probably know that the formula in Excel always started with equal sign. Equal sign meaning the cell you selected will accommodate this result of the formula. So in my case here, F2 is selected cell, and I will place my result of the formula right inside of the F2. So when I go to formula bar and place equal sign, that meaning F2 is equal. Now, how to make formula itself? Definitely arithmetical operations like plus, minus, divide, and multiply will be listed here. So let me make sum of B2 and C2 and then multiply it by D2. So first of all, I will make sum of B2 and C2. Instead of content of the cells, I will use cell references, cell names. Name is B2 and C2. So I'll put here B2 plus C2. Now I need to multiply the sum by D2, but I need to use brackets. So this is pretty simple algebraic expression. So I will go to make and brackets, and multiply is asterisk, multiply by D2. D2. Folks, I can press enter to see the result of the formula, or I can press check, which is the same thing. So I will go to press enter, and then you will see 385. 385 is the result of this formula. To see this formula again, you just need to click this cell that we used to get a result. Folks, I would like to attract your attention to the very tiny dot. You can see this dot in the right lower corner of the cell framed with results. So this little dot, when you position your thick plus cursor, the cursor became skinny cursor, and that is a sign of a very special action. When you drag this tiny dot down, the result of operations will be placed in the nearest cells. Take a look, folks. When I drag it down and drag it down and drag it down, the same formula will be applied to the nearest cells. So this dot, this tiny dot, named fill handle. Fill handle. So to populate a formula across the grid, we need to use fill handle. That question will be on exams. Let us continue, folks. We actually introduced fill handle, and fill handle will appear when you selected the cell or range of cells. This tiny dot is fill handle. Fill handle needed for populate the nearest cells with the same formula. Folks, empty cell, what is the value of empty cell? Empty cell is equal 0, and we know that we cannot divide by 0 because the result will be the infinity. So let's say I would like to apply the formula like this. I would like to take equal sign, take F2. I can just click F2, and F2 will be populated in a formula. Then use division. Division is a slash. and I will use empty cell like G2. And when I try to calculate the result will be invaluable. Look at this. That is division by 0. You can see the mistake, and Excel will give me information about not valid operation. So question on exams will be, is that correct formula when we divide by the cell reference if the cell is empty? No, this is not correct. So I will eliminate this formula. Next, folks, I would like to speak about the type of the data. So far, you can see the general arithmetical data, like natural arithmetical numbers. But Excel allows you to put any type of data inside of the cell. And how to convert this data, for example, to the bookkeeping or currency, that is actually a question. So when we highlight the range of cells where these data are, we can go to Format. Format is the icon in the home ribbon. When you click it, then you will see Format Cells. Format Cells, when you click Format Cells and use the number bookmark, then you will see basic type of the data. Look at this: general, number, currency, accounting, date and time, percentage, fraction, scientific, textual. By the way, folks, text is part of the acceptable data for Excel, special data and custom data. So if I would like to convert this data to the bookkeeping data as a currency, I need to click currency. And then, folks, you will see the sample of the currency here. Currency usually has number of dollars and then dot and number of cents. Decimal places 2. 2 places after decimal point. You can adjust this value. You can use no decimal point. Look at this. I will click arrow tip, and then that will be no decimal data after decimal point. So I will get back decimal point, and when I press OK, you will see the data with a dollar sign and with the cents. Definitely the result of this calculation must be also in bookkeeping style. To get back to the previous data, I need to use the arrow tip for undo format. And then we'll go for the same data that we had. Let us continue. I would like to say a few words about cell references and how to use cell references in the formula. Let's use H2 cell highlighted, and let's put 7%. 7%, let's say 7.8% is actually a percentage for purchase in New York State, so that will be 0.078. That is absolute value 7.8%, because percentage is divided by 100. Percent is 100. Now I would like to calculate the tax value if in F column will be the price for a certain product. First of all, I would like to highlight the entire price column and go to Format and use Format Cells and use Currency. So that will be, looks like a price. Now this is my tax. So to calculate the tax value, I need in G column, I need to highlight G, cell G2, put equal sign, and then multiply the price value. I just click on the price value. Then I need to multiply it by the value of the tax in percentage. Let's check, and we'll see from $385.00 price, $30.03, value of the tax. Now, if we use fill handle and we go down here, then you will see a paradoxical thing. Take a look. The price is valid, but the tax is 0. That happened because cells that will participate in a formula, H3, H4, H5, and H6 are 0. They're empty cells. So let's get back to the very first calculation. Here is H2 is a tax value. So how to use formula to calculate tax for all other prices? we need to keep this address cell reference like H2 without any changes. But if we use fill handle, that will be changed to the next cell, next cell, next cell, next cell. So in this case, folks, Excel suggests absolute reference. If you place in the formula $sign before the name of the column and then before the name of the row, also $sign, and you calculate the first thing, that will be the same value as you did before. But now, if you do your fill handle calculation, then you will see valid values of the text because the cell H2 will not move down. It will be absolute reference. So folks, take a look. If you need absolute reference, you will use $column, $row mark, and that will be absolute reference. Let us continue. I would like to introduce logical operations in Excel. From the previous time, we know 3 logical operations: conjunction, disjunction, and negation. I'll remind you what is this. Conjunction is operation AND, meaning all operands must be true in a matter of the result truthful. Disjunction is operation that required at least one operand truthful to get a truthful result. Negation is inversion. If I say yes, you say no. If I say no, you say yes. Negation is negative according to the sentence you say. If you say true, I will say false. Now, how to use these operations in Excel? Sometimes we have logical data. Let's put logical data. I will use, let's say, J5 for my logical data. And I'll put true here, and K5, I'll put true in a K5, and I put false in L5. Now, I would like to know to calculate a conjunction of these 3 data, J5, K5, and L5, in the cell M5. How to do this, how the format of the conjunction will look like in Excel. So take a look, folks. The operation conjunction is operation AND in Excel. So we will go for equal sign, then I'll put operation AND, open bracket, and I will list all 3 these cells, J, K, and L5. I do not need to write down the references for the cells. I need only just click, then put comma, then click again, put comma, click again, and close the bracket. I predict the result because the false is actually put the entire conjunction into false. But let's check it, and we will see false. Now, folks, in the cell N5, I would like to calculate disjunction of these 3 cells. Disjunction, it's at least one is true, everything is true. So I will go for equal sign, I will go for operation OR, then I open bracket, and I will do the same click, comma, click, comma, and click, comma. The same as we did before, alright? And when I check it, I will get true. Definitely disjunction is true because 2 operands are true. Now I would like to get negation from the operation that I have here, and I will put operation not. I forgot to put my equal sign, operation not, open, and then I will just put not from what? Not from J5. Check. You see, the true gave me false. So folks, 3 operations, conjunction, disjunction, and negation in Excel will be named operation AND, operation OR, and operation NOT accordingly. Let us continue. I would like to remove this data. I will highlight the range of cells which actually contain this data and press delete. So we leave only these 3 columns, and then we will use this for calculations. First of all, I would like to use a range of cells. I would like to use sum of B2, C2, and D2. and put it in the cell E2. For this, I will start with equal sign, and then I will write down the function sum of the function that give me a sum of this. Then I will open bracket, and I can write down all cells references that participate in the sum, like B2, C2, and D2. But I will not do this. I will use a range of cells. And range of cells, actually, folks, is B2, and then I will put colon, and then that will be D2. D2 is the last cell in the range, and then I will close bracket. You will see the rectangle that actually shows you the selected cells, which actually will participate in the calculation of the sum. When I press enter, then you'll have this. This is sum. To calculate sum in the adjacent cells, I just need to use the dot here, which is fill handle, and I will go down and drag it down so you will see some of these cells. What are the other functions that we use in Excel? Let's calculate average, but here let me put what is this. This is sum, and here I'll put average. Average function is average, so I will put equal sign, and then I'll put average, open bracket. But folks, let me show you how to use average without typing the address or reference of the cell. I will just click this cell, the first in a range, then I will type colon. Colon is delimiter, and the last cell in a range. Then you will see this marquee around this, and when I close the bracket, then you will see what we actually doing as an average. Check. Wow. Take a look, folks. I used B3, D3, but placed average in the F2. This is a mistake. So what I need to do, I need to place this result in a cell F3. How to do this? Folks, look at this. I deliberately made it to show you. When I position my cursor at the border of the cell, the cursor will be transporting to cursor. That will be 4 different arrows. So I will just move this cursor, move it here, not with a fill handle, but only with transporting tool. Then I can use fill handle down, and I can use fill handle up. Look at this, folks. I have all average calculations, and the first correct B2 up to D2, and this average. Now let me show you, folks, what's happened if you need to change the width of the column. Look at this, folks. When you position your cursor in between of the columns, you will see transportation cursor, which actually allows you to move the column width to make it wider or narrower. So I make it narrow, and then you will see it narrow. And here I would like to make it narrow. But when I make it too narrow, you will see a very strange picture. This is the number. Don't panic if you see this in your calculations. That just meaning that you use very narrow, too narrow column, and you need to make it a little bit wider. Folks, I would like to show you one more trick in Excel concerning the size of the rows and size of the columns. Let's make distortion in the size of the columns to make it quite big, and I don't know which size is good, which size is bad. Okay, something like this. And this is literally a disorder. And I know that Excel allows me to make it fit in the data. But how can I make the size of the column to fit with the data? So what I need to do, guys, I need to highlight the area that I need to fit. And then we need to go to format, and then you will see 2 very interesting things. Column width, auto fit column width, and then auto fit row height. Do not forget that this is under format. Folks, look at this format: auto-fit row height and auto-fit column width. Let me hit auto-fit column width, and in this case that will be very compact and nice. So when I have this range of cells selected, I can supply it with borders. So I'll go to borders and I will use all borders, and then you will see very nice and neat data table. Folks, few words again about range of cells. What I would like to do with range of cells, I would like to tell you folks that range of cells actually started with the first cell in a range. Let me put it here, first cell in a range, and then it finished with the last cell in a range. You see the first cell is, if I use column, that is B2, and the last cell is B6. What I would like to do here, I would like to use some of this column. So what I will use this cell, and then I will go for equal symbol, and then the word sum, and folks, I will write down B2, and then column, and then the last cell is B6. Do not forget that the correct writing of the range of cells is the first cell, then column, and then the last cell. Check, and then you will see the result of this range of cell. Now folks, about alignment. Alignment is how we position data inside of the cells. And then you can see, folks, 6 different alignments. In Microsoft Word, you have 4: left, right, center, and justification. Here you have left, center, right, upper, medium, and lower position. Let me try to do this. I will highlight this table and we'll try to use different alignment. Left, center, right. You see, it works. So we have 6 different alignments in Excel. These questions will be in test, folks. I would like to introduce a very interesting function of Excel is conditional operation. That will be quite an interesting question in a test, so you need to know what we're talking about conditional operation. Conditional operation actually analyze the logical condition. You know the logical, when you hear the word logical, that's meaning it could be true or false. True or false. So we need to analyze the specific data. Now I would like to introduce this table, folks. Take a look. This is name: John, William, Peter, and Natalia, and Tatiana. Last name, just letters JKOBWA to be short. Then how many years old this person is. And you can see here the age, and actually how many years old these people. And definitely these people worked, and they have their pension estimated when they first will be eligible. But they will be eligible only after 67 years old. The pension in America actually available when people either equal or older than 67. So I would like to see what monthly check about pension these people will earn. So what we need to use the command with conditional operation. So I will go for equal sign, and then conditional operation is operation if. So folks, if, and then I will open bracket. Conditional operation, now you can see the value if true, value if false, and then logical test. So what we're going to test? We're going to test how old is the person. So I will go for first K2. K2 is the age greater or equal 67. So the age of the person, how many years old the person is, must be greater or equal 67. 67 is the years old when the pension is available. Then comma, and then if this true, the pension will be available. So M2 will be equal pension that earned. So that will be L2. L2 is the earned amount of pension. If the person is not yet available, the pension will be accumulated in a pension fund, then the pension will be equal 0. Then I will close the bracket and check. Now definitely we'll see the monthly check for the pension for John J will be 0. Now I would like to go and see what's happened with other people. So I will use a dot named field handle, and then you will see what's happened. So take a look, folks. William K. The years old is 45, definitely pension not yet coming to his check. And then Peter O, 67, and $1,980 will be here as his check for the pension. And other people, Ann B, 70 years old, Natalia W, 71 years old, and Tatiana A, 68 years old. So they will have pension. Folks, look at this. The operation if contain a logical test and then to exit from this logical test. First, if condition is true, and second, if condition is false. To make this complete, I need to go highlight this to column where money is described, and then I will go for $sign right here and change the numbers from general to accounting. And then you will see exactly what I would like to calculate. Monthly check 00, and then exactly what people will get. Let us continue, folks. I would like to show you interesting technique how to select cells with a certain features on it. This is not if operation, but this is so-called conditional formatting. It's not conditional operation, because conditional operation is if. You can see it here in the formula bar. By the way, conditional operation contains 3 parts. First is condition check. In our case, is K2 greater or equal 67? And then the first place is what's happened if true. And the second place is what happened if this is false. Now, folks, I would like to see which person will have pension that less than 3,000. How to do this? You see, the column M is the column with calculated pension. So I will go for the first person, which is John J. Select this cell, and I will go to conditional formatting. If you click conditional formatting, you will see different rules. Highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, and so on. But highlight cell rules is make cell different color if it satisfy with certain conditions. Take a look. Greater than, less than, or between, or equal to, or text that contain. For example, we can find everyone who has the name John. But in our case, I told you I need to select cells with the people who will get pension, which amount is less than 3,000. So I will choose less than. And for my case, you will see format cells that are less than. And I will put here less than $3,000. $3,000. And then take a look, folks. Light red field with dark red text. I can do different color here. Green field with a dark green, light red field, red text, red border, and so on. Let me use light red field with a dark red text, which is first one. When I press OK, you will see my first cell painted in light red, and nothing, meaning the dash, that means no pension at all, also will be dark red. To see what's happened with other people, I need to activate field handle and drag field handle down to see what's happened. And then, folks, take a look. You will see a red painted, only cells which amount is less than 3,000. So one of these questions in exams will be like this. How to select coloristically with a color cells which satisfied a certain conditions. In this case, folks, you need to select the cell and go to conditional formatting. Conditional formatting in a home ribbon. That is answer for the question. Now, folks, I would like to teach you how to make quite difficult problem that you can meet in final exams or in exams for Excel. Look at this. You can see this range of cells. I will make it yellow so you will see what I'm talking about. This is project, and this is 4 projects. Project 1, Project 2, Project 3, and Project 4. Consider that different people offer project to the company, and company would like to decide which project to accept and which project must be rejected. The criteria for the company is 10% of internal revenue minimum, meaning the income from this project must be greater or equal 10%. Now, to tell you folks how to calculate accept and reject, definitely we need to use operation if. So what is actually a logical test? Internal revenue, which is J11, here this cell J11 must be greater or equal cell L11 in a matter of give the project 1 accept for the company. Let's try to get a formula. So equal sign. We start always with the equal sign. Then operation if, definitely because we need to calculate the logical test. Logical test is this one. Is internal revenue, which is cell J11, greater or equal, you see the symbols, greater or equal, criteria. But criteria is placed only in a cell L10. It's not supposed to be moving down. So we need to put here absolute address, absolute L, $sign L, and absolute number. So that will be $11, and then comma. So if the project revenue greater or equal criteria, then folks, if yes, I need to put the word accept. But the words in textual information in Excel must be in quotation mark. So I will put quotation and I put here accept, then I put comma. If this condition is not satisfactory, I need to put reject, but reject must be in the same quotations, and I put reject and close quotation and close bracket. So formula is, folks, look, if, open bracket, internal revenue, which is J11, greater or equal absolute address of criteria, which is L11, then I accept this project. The word accept will be in quotation. If not, the project will be rejected. And the word reject also must be in quotation marks. Then we will close this. Look at this, folks. I calculated the exception for the project for the wrong cell. So I need to bring this cell in a place where it's supposed to be. I need to position my cursor in the border and then transport this cell right here where it accept. Okay, so now you see my project will be accepted because the revenue is greater than 12.5%. Now I would like to scroll it down using the fill handle to see what's happened with other projects. And then, folks, look at this. Other project, partially 9% will be reject and 11% will be accept. So that is what we need to, but this I lost my grid, so I will make it again. If you would like to use the formula without this $L and $11, you need just to put criteria in each cell here. In this case, you can use formula without absolute address. Again, the formula is visible here. If J11 greater or equal L11, then accept. If not, reject. A few more things, folks. I would like to give you a couple of tips about insertion of the charts. So charts are graphical representation of table, and it's actually directly connected to table. Whatever changes are made in a table in Excel, these changes will be reflected in the charts. So let's try to use the first table to make diagram. So I will try to use name names of the people, then last name, and to make diagram of the pension that they earned. Folks, I need to skip their ages, how many years old. So to do this, I need to press and hold Control while I selected a different range of cells. So you can see here with the Control, that will be selected. Now I'm going to insert, and I will use clustered columns, that is default charts, and then you will see name of the people and then amount of the proposed pension. Will be interesting to add here at their real pension. To do this, let's delete this chart. We can select this chart and press delete, and then I would like to do highlight names, highlight last name, first name, Control last name, pension earned, and monthly check. Let's see what we get in this case. Insert diagram. We'll go to 3D columns, and that is a really nice diagram. You can see just John J. and William K. got nothing, 0, and other people will have their pension. What can we do for this? We can add, right mouse click, add data labels so that you will see a real amount of the pension. Then you can make this smaller and move to the different place. So to make other diagram available, and make it a little bigger to see what we're supposed to see. Okay, so let's try to make a project 1 project, and internal revenue. I will select it with a Control, internal revenue, and I will try to insert column. Let's see. Yes, you can see it right here. So that is my diagram, internal revenue, and that is project 1, project 2. Okay, folks. So this is how to make diagrams. Your diagrams will not be successful always, so try it first. If something goes wrong, try to select it in different way. So in this case, I think it's time to finish a last and fast preparation for Excel exams. Thank you for your attention.